Hey, I'm Bob. I've been blind since birth and I'm into Power Rangers. If you like the video, share, like, subscribe, hit the notification button. These things help the channel. I've got the box set in my hands again. We're talking about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers episode 17. This, my friends, is Green with Evil Part 1. And Part 1 aired on October 5th in 1993. I used to have these 5 separate VHS tapes in my collection. I got them in the summer of 94. It took my grandma and my aunt quite a while to track all of them down. They were churned out by Saban, and they were just as speedily bought up by parents everywhere, I guess, in Memphis, Tennessee, and probably a ton of other states too. Tommy was and still is quite a popular character. But if you want to look at dedicated toy hunters and VHS hunters, man, my grandma and my aunt, the two Irenes, they put some modern collectors to shame. They couldn't order stuff online back in the day. They hit the bricks. I went with them, and that's how we tracked all of our stuff. I mean, that's how most collectors do it nowadays. But I mean, some people have connections at the stores, and they can go in the back and ask for stuff depending on who they know. And we never had any of that. We just got lucky, and I mean that can be said for thousands and thousands of people too. I mean, nowadays you just have to go, and if you see it, you see it. And man, but if you want to look at dedicated toy and tape haulers from the 90s, man, look no further than my aunt and my grandma. My cousins were down from Nashville too, and they helped to complete the Green with Evil collection. It was like putting pieces together, a giant jigsaw puzzle, I guess. So part 1 of Green with Evil, we get to see Tommy Oliver for the first time, and the episode starts with a martial arts competition. Jason is going up against the new kid in Angel Grove, and it is, of course, Tommy Oliver, played by Jason David Frank. This is his big debut, and the Rangers are in awe of how well this kid fights. Rita is also in awe. She's watching him from the moon, from her moon palace, I guess, through her telescope. She looks at her minions, and she's like, oh, this kid, he is going to make a great evil Green Ranger. She has a 6th power coin. This is the first time we get to see it. And she wants Tommy under her spell. The competition ends in a tie. Nobody wins. Kimberly has the hots for the new kid. So she goes up to Tommy and she's like, hey, you wanna hang out after school with some of us? Nothing major. It's like, oh yeah, I'll be there. Cool. All right, sounds fun. But he doesn't make it after school because Rita sends her putties to Earth to fight Tommy in a test. And of course, she is very pleased to see Tommy handing the putties their clay butts on a platter. And then she teleports him to the moon, places him under her evil spell, and gives him the 6th power coin. And he morphs into the Green Ranger for the first time. And she's like, okay, kid, now that you have access to this power coin, now that you have access to Ranger powers, you also have access to the command center. None of us have that. So I want you to go in there, and I want you to wipe out Zordon. So he sneaks into the command center, since he has his power coin, since he is a Ranger, albeit an evil one, and he starts wrecking everything. I mean, he's taking out equipment right and left. Zordon is begging him, oh, don't do this. You're not yourself. Rita has you under an evil spell. No. So he's banished to another dimension. And while Tommy's in the command center, he gives Alpha a little parting gift, a little virus, killing 2 birds with 1 stone while he's there. Very clever, Mr. Oliver. Very, very clever. Very well done as far as evil doers go. The other Rangers, they get a garbled communication from Alpha because communication and teleportation are down. Tommy's put the kibosh on that. They have to fly to the command center in their flying car, the Rad Bug, and Rita makes Goldar grow to draw the other Rangers out. So they have to morph, and they have to summon the Megazord. And while they're trading blows with giant Goldar and their Megazord, Tommy sneaks inside because he's got access to that power coin now. And, he can go in there if he wants to. And I think he knocks them all out of their Zords. Somebody told me he threw a green grenade or something like that when I was a kid. I don't know if that's what he did or not. Those of you who know the fight by heart, You could describe it in the comments section, because I don't know what the heck's going on. There is no description for this thing online. But once they get knocked out of the Megazord, they are on the ground and they're just reeling from what had happened. He starts beating the mess out of them. They don't know who this guy is. They were just fighting Goldar, and now here's this new Green Ranger, and he's just feeding them their lunch. Jason tries taking him on, and he gets beaten up quite badly. I think Tommy shoots this weird green electricity at him, and they have to teleport away. They got to retreat to the command center. I guess teleportation might be back up, because after the little commercial break there, they're in a flash. I don't know if they ran back or what. I guess Alpha got teleportation back up or something. And he's apologizing because he can't figure out who the new Ranger is or where Zordon is, and he shuts down. This virus is just kicking his butt. And Jason is like, oh man, this is just round one, and I think we're in for a major battle. And the episode does end with laughter, but it is maniacal, evil Green Ranger laughter today. There's nothing happy about this situation at all. It is grim. Tommy is vowed to destroy every single one of these goody goods. Not that he calls them that. I just like using that. And, the episode ends on a cliffhanger. Zordon's gone. Alpha's shut down. They've been knocked out of their Zords, and they're not sure what they're going to be doing next. It's just them, and they're going to have to think their way out of this situation. So what a phenomenal, or more phenomenal, I should say, start to a legendary miniseries. It would have been cool to have seen this on TV as it was airing. I think the first time I ever heard about Power Rangers was a kid at school talking about this series. He runs up to me in class. His name was Justin. He had long hair like Tommy did back in the day, and I always remember that ponytail he had. And he ran up like, oh, you got to watch this show, man. And it was October, right when this miniseries was airing. This was the first time I'd ever heard about these kids in multicolored costumes. And he mentioned, oh yeah, there's this bad one now, and he's controlled by this witch, and he knocked him out of their Zords. So yeah, my old pal Justin was the first kid that ever mentioned the word Power Rangers and Green Ranger to me. I wouldn't see this show for months and months and months, because, as I've said before, we didn't have Fox. But Justin was very excited about this bad guy. So yeah, I heard about the Green Ranger and the actual TV show from a pal, and I will always remember how pumped he was. He's like, yeah, it's a big 5-parter, and part 2's airing today. I hope you get to see it, man. You could try to watch it at somebody's house after school. I don't know, man. But yeah, I forgot to mention that's where I first heard about these kids in costumes with dinosaurs from my buddy Justin. So yeah, that's part 1 of Green with Evil, and it was subtitled Out of Control. We'll be talking about part 2 next time. That is Jason's Battle. So be here for that. May the power protect you all, and I'll hear you next time.